Hi class, today we're going to learn about trends in physics. These trends are going to look very similar to lines you have probably learned about in junior high. When we do an experiment, we're going to be changing one variable and measuring the effect on the other. And we're going to have a relationship between those two variables. And these are the three most common types of trends that we're going to see in our class. So the first type of trend is a positive linear trend. Positive linear trend means as x increases, in this case from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, you'll notice that the dependent variable y also increases from 2 to 4 to 6 to about 8 each time. When we were going to graph this, if we were to go to graphing software, we would see points that look like this. And we would just make a best fit line, a trend line. And you would just draw this. You wouldn't even have to draw those little dots. You would just draw a linear straight line right through those points. The reason why it's linear is because as x increases by 1 each time, you can see that the dependent variable y increases by about 2 each time. So by looking at that graph, you can make a statement that says as x increases, our variable y also increases. Now, when we come to number 2 over here, you can see that as x increases by 1 each time, the variable y decreases. And again, if we were to plot those points, we would see points decreasing like this. And we would draw a best fit line that cuts like that, going down and to the right. And again, this is a linear straight line because as these numbers go up by 1 for the variable x, these numbers go down by about 2 each time. Now here, our conclusion statement would be as x increases, we would say whatever the variable is, y decreases. Our final trend, number 3, is going to be a no trend. And in this case, you can see as x increases by 1, our variable y pretty much stays the same. It kind of jumps up and down a little bit. Again, if you were to graph this in some sort of graphing software, the points would slightly go up and down and there'd be a little zigzag to it. But for us, that's going to mean a no trend. It means actually the line's going to go straight across. The reason why it goes straight across, and that we have, even though we have these little jumps where it goes from 3.3 down to 3.2 and then from 3.3 up to 3.4, is because we have a little bit of error in the experiment. If we did a perfect experiment with no error, all those variable y's would be 3.3s, and it would be a perfectly straight line straight across. So anytime you see any sort of little zigzagging of data up and down and the numbers being really close to each other, like you see in number 3, it is a no trend, and there's just a little bit of error in the experiment. Those are the main 3. There is one small thing to watch out for, though, and that's the following. Every once in a while, you might do an experiment where your variable x, instead of going from 1 up to 6, you might have just done from 6 down to 1. And then you get your data for the variable y, and you see that it also goes 6 down to 1. And what happens is a lot of times kids see this, and they go, oh, well, these numbers are decreasing, so I have a negative trend. Well, the issue here is that not only is y decreasing, but x is also decreasing along with it. So in this case, if you read the table from the bottom to the top, it would, in green here, you would see that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going up, and down here it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going up. So it turns out since x and y are both increasing or decreasing, whichever way you're looking at it, they're both doing the same thing. This is actually a positive trend, and if you were to graph it, you would see points that would look like this, and all you would have to do is just sketch a line that goes like that, and you would write as x increases, y also increases. Or you could say as x decreases, y decreases. Both of those would be perfectly fine. That is about it. Thank you very much.